Guys, you can't think about fashion events and forget this name. This name is a gentleman who is, I can say, literally, he's the best fashion host in events. I've seen him in different events here in Rwanda, and man, be it a conference, be it a sports event, like recently the Basketball Africa League, this guy is doing so amazing. I don't know how he does it, but he does an amazing job. So I want you to meet
David Mubita. David Mubita, everybody. Yeah, what's good, man? Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming, David. And
man.
I'm glad we're getting to meet fashion meeting photography.
I know.
we work hand in hand.
Obviously, we work in the same world and in the same industry. But yeah, man, it's good to see you doing your thing. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. But you look more amazing.
It's like you were prepared.
I try to match your energy.
Oh, man.
I have to be like him because he's always super. And
yeah, man, I love the drip.
Sure.
I love the drip for sure.
Whom
are you wearing today?
These pants are made by a friend.
Okay.
He's a designer. His name is Zinda.
Oh, nice.
Zinda Bespoke. I should give you his contact because he can make you some nice outfits. So thank you for coming once again.
Of course.
Talk to me about your recent event.
So man, my recent one really has been Spin and Friends.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Spin and Friends from Uganda. You're from Uganda, right? Yeah. So that's like my most recent event that I created content on. So yeah, man, I heard it was coming to Kigali. I think maybe for the second time. I attended the first one last time. It happened at Zaria Court. Yeah, but this time around, man, I was like, of course, I really know that a lot of people are going to be out there. You know, we've got like Ugandan coming all the way from there to
and they have some
Kigali.
nice vibes.
I know, man, good energy. So I was like, yeah, man, let me get prepared and show up and also like just interact with people and give people the platform to talk about their sense of fashion.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, did great. I did like, a few videos from there. It was great.
Before we talk about anything, who are you beyond the person people see online?
All right, so I would like to start with my identity, So I'm a Zambian, born and, schooled from there throughout my primary to high school, until when it was time for me to, go pursue my tertiary education. That's how I transitioned into East Africa, Rwanda specifically, man. Shout out to Rwanda. So, yeah, I'm from Zambia, and beyond, the cameras or the social medias or the brand that I'm building right now, I'm pretty much, someone who is very reserved. I like to also say that, I'm a Christian, Yeah, that's very important to me.
Good,
yeah. And I call myself as the most extroverted introvert,
You're confusing guys now.
I know. This is because beyond just what outside or on social media, I'm someone who is always like, very introverted. And by that, I mean, I love my space. I'm always taking a lot of time by myself. And I feel like, I think it just that allows me to like, being able to be in my zone, to like think and also get inspiration from, other creators out there. So yeah, man, pretty much chilled really, yeah, I'm a loving person, I love love. So yeah, yeah, I believe, we live in a world where there's so much going on and the only thing we can give out there, and get it's love. So yeah, that's pretty much about myself.
Okay, cool. Then how would your closest friends describe you?
Yeah. So if you were to ask somebody really about me, I'm pretty sure that they'll mention that, man, David is a jovial person, I like to bring life into the room, I love to make people feel comfortable. I like to feel people, be recognized that, hey, I see you and you see me. And and I'm sure they'll say that I'm caring too.
Yeah.
I love to care about people, man. I believe that that's the right mindset to have. I don't like having beef with people. I like to just create peace because that allows me to, I think, be in the right state of the mind as a creative to continue creating and to continue working.
Let's go back in time.
Yeah.
What were you like growing up? And did you have this much interest in fashion?
So growing up for me, man, so I was born, in the city, right? Lusaka. But when I was 7 years old, I was taken to go in the village.
Okay.
Yeah, to be brought up by, my grandparents.
Okay.
As African kids or the African parents, they like to kind of like take their kids from the city life to the village life.
To learn the
exactly,
And actually, it's a very good thing because you learn some other experiences.
Yeah, 100%. So me and my immediate elder sister was taken into the village in the western part of Zambia, So from 2007 to 2013, that's when we were brought back to the city again.
After you learning something.
It's like after I went to University of Life and then we were brought back to the city. So when I came back to the city, man, I think, that's where the interest of fashion started. I think for me, it all really came from, I think, watching a lot of TV.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched a lot of TV, and till now I still love reality TV shows. Yeah, because they just give me this inspiration, Like, I really believe that we as human beings, we are actually the best teachers. Like, if other people were to learn something from us, you'll be surprised how much they can learn about life.
Yeah.
So for me, I look at, let's say, TV series or reality TVs as an education on itself, because I'm able to try to put myself in other people's shoes, how they dress, how they talk, how they walk, how they work, And for me, that kind of inspired me to just really learn much about fashion, how important people in the society dress, and just conduct themselves. But, fashion really started on the really early age. And also my mom used to have a tailoring machine.
Oh.
Yeah.
African mothers already have something at home.
She wasn't a profession tailor, but she did it just, in case our uniforms were... our shorts. In case our uniforms would be ripped off, she would always fix it. Yeah. Exactly. Within maybe 5 minutes and stuff like that. Then you go to school. Or when you come back from school at lunchtime or break time, your pant has been, torn apart. She would just fix that, right? That was the main essence of that, tailoring machine. But I think also it instilled something in me, just to know the right thing to, put on your body, to wear, at different occasions. So I would say, I think that's where the fashion interest really came from. Yeah.
That's amazing and very, very interesting that people can actually know about what they want to do at a very early age.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's some, I don't know, but I think it's with art, art, creativity. A kid, you can tell a kid when they want to do something at an early age, and you can see some kids are playing with toys. They want to do IT, they want to do, mechanic, something like that.
Absolutely.
And then some parents forget that, actually these signs are telling this. But moving on to the fashion side, what does fashion mean to you beyond outfits and appearance?
Yeah. For me, fashion is an identity. It's an identity that each and every person carries. The way you dress highly represents who you are as a person, and other than identity, fashion for me also, it's a language, it's a universal language, it's a communication tool that we use to tell people, to tell the world, to tell the society that we come from or the society that we live in, right? About something, It's like when I dress a certain way, I'm trying to communicate something. I'm trying to tell people something. I'm trying to make a statement, So fashion is really more than just wearing clothes, to protect your body. It's always a language that you're trying to communicate, and once people understand that, you get to now know and to really appreciate the whole essence of fashion. You stop dressing anyhow. You start now being intentional about what you're wearing and how to wear it. Yeah.
I want to know if there's a person who influenced your sense of style.
Yeah. For sure, man. Like I said, man, I draw a lot of inspiration from a lot of people. Yeah, I look at this guy, Michael B. Jordan, is one of the people that really dresses well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I appreciate his art too, but also for...
his art too.
Yeah. And also, is this guy, is it Raphael or Pharrell, the guy from Louis Vuitton? I think is their, creative director there for the men's collection. Yeah, I love how he dresses, very simple, very minimalistic, and also at the same time making very big statements. Also, I draw inspiration from events, so you can never find me just attending an event and dressing anyhow.
I know. I've seen that.
Yeah, I dress for the occasion, like
every event has a different outfit. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah, that's non-negotiable. Even when I came here, I was like, you know what? I just want to be comfortable. I understood I'm gonna be on set. I need to wear something dark, help you to do your editing, to have the right contrast.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. Okay. And then I was like, just, baggy formal pants. Like, I just want to be comfortable. So for me, I draw inspiration when it comes to fashion from, events around me and also like people really,
Yeah. Now, I want to know, this boy from Lusaka moves to Rwanda, and then this boy does fashion. Now, when did he get into hosting?
Yeah, hosting, like being a digital host.
Yeah,
right?
A digital host.
Okay, so man, it all started in uni. I went to the African Leadership University. Oh. Shout out to AOU.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, man, the rest.
I think it's the best university right now. Giving out a lot of creatives to the community.
Yeah, they raised as well. So when I was there, man, I just wanted to be myself, and also growing up as a child, I've always wanted to become a journalist. Wow. I wanted to become a journalist. I love TV a lot. I love TV a lot. Like just the inspiration of being in front of cameras. But one of my biggest barriers was always like communication, because I wasn't brought up in like these fancy schools or fancy homes where we speak English.
Not audible enough.
Exactly,
not outspoken.
Yeah, like where you speak English on a daily basis.
I know.
So for me, actually, I learned my English like in I think by high school, like the last 3 years of high school. Wow. And also like in the society, really like attending different kind of events, hanging out with cool friends. So when I came to uni, it was of course, it's an English speaking university, whereas there's no one you can speak your local language with here. You just have to like, be able to harness your communication skills. So I even did a little bit of a podcast, I did a little bit of hosting events on campus. Then I started growing my brand a little bit, like my personal brand, a little bit from there. But when I graduated now, I was like, how can I use my passion for media to actually turn it into a product, or a service that I can start offering out there. So it was in 2024, when the BAL started, was already happening here in Rwanda, and I started attending those games. I remember attending, the first BAL game was just like a normal attendee, that was the first time I was getting even introduced to basketball. Yeah, but one thing that caught my attention was really about how everybody was really dressing very well.
True, and it's like a fashion show.
Exactly, so I was like, what's the intersection between basketball and fashion? Like, these people are really like dressing like well.
They're like together.
Exactly, but these players, when you look at them, they're like just wearing jerseys, right? So I was like, what's the connection here? And now again, I drew inspiration from how everybody would turn up to the courts, courtside, those these celebrities, exactly. When I see the BL posting the photos, I'm like, wow, these are really good, like good looking people. And I was like, I'll be interested to actually hear their stories, the inspiration behind
their
outfits, what exactly made them to wear the same way what they're wearing, or to dress the certain way, right? So now in 2025, I was like, you know what? I'm definitely gonna attend the BAL, not just as an attendee, but someone who is a content creator, someone who can create something. So that's how I pretty much started. I used of course, the skills that I gained doing hosting events, and also like doing some podcasts as a host, to like pretty much kind of like harness them and coming up with the right questions with the right character, energy to know what to ask people about their outfits, and just giving them a platform to talk about, what they're wearing. So it all really started with the Basketball Africa League 2025. That was a trial, really. Like, I was just doing it on myself. I had my camera, and I was always asking people, if I meet two people who are dressed well, maybe the other person is dressed well, the other person not. I'll approach the one who is dressed well, and I'll tell the other one who is not dressed well, can you please help me record us? Yeah, so I'll employ them right there, I was like, okay, man, so while I interview your friend who's dressed well here,
be the cameraman.
Be the camerawoman or man.
Make sure they should suffice.
Exactly. Make sure we're all in the frame. Bruh, that was the hassle. So, man, we'll do like maybe 30 seconds interview or 1 minute interview, just like 3 to 4 questions. And you'll be surprised how much people want to talk about themselves and want to talk about like what they're wearing, So from there, I it was a proof of concept, like I didn't even have like partners and sponsors by then, even to get accreditation from BAL, it was a hassle for me. I had partnered with, a brand that was, promoting events activities in Kigali. I was aware, shout out to them, through their owner, connected me. And I was like creating content, collaborative content, for myself and also for them to like just grow both brands. Yeah, man, so I had so much proof of concept during 2025 BL season. Now, this year was crazy because everybody was highly anticipating to be interviewed about their drip, about their fashion. I had no idea it was going to turn into something massive like this.
Competition was too much.
I'm telling you, like a lot of people even now went to do custom-made outfits and having their designers contact me. Yo, I'm dressing this person.
Imagine.
Please, where can they find you? I want you to do an interview with them. I was like, oh, wow, this is growing.
That's
yeah.
Nice.
So that's pretty much how it all started.
Earlier you said growing up you liked to be a journalist and seeing people in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But I want to know, what was your first experience in front of a camera?
Hey man, it was weird, bro. And I think this is one thing that people don't know. Being a content creator, being in front of the camera. Right now I can already imagine putting myself in your shoes as a host, right? That thing right there, guys, is not something to play with. A camera is such a very...
So intimidating.
I know, it's just a tool, but at the same time, it's so intimidating, man.
I know.
Till today, I'm never really comfortable being on the camera. It's like, you just have to cope up with it and get used to it. You just have to accept it to say, you and me, we're together. We can never be separated. It's like, you need me, I need you.
I know.
I need to use you and you need to be used, right? That's what you're meant for. So it was really weird, man. Do a lot of cuts, you try to do an intro, you cut again. But again,
10 intros.
I know, man, but I feel like if you don't give up, if you don't feel ashamed of that, you just have to keep going and get used to it. Before you know it, you're really good at it. So the first experience, man, it was bad, brother. But yeah, with time, we keep growing and just becomes normal.
Now, talk about first times and then you grow and then now you've done a lot of events actually.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know, what does it take to be a great fashion host?
Yeah. So the first thing, man, you've got to start with yourself. Don't get into something that you don't fully understand. Yeah. I understand pretty much, a lot about fashion, and fashion is really something that people sometimes try to overcomplicate, but it's something very simple, it's very simple. It's like, you just have to understand the basics. So being a fashion host now comes to you yourself, you need to speak the same language. You need to speak the fashion language, right? So if you're going to be a host, obviously you're going to be in front of a camera. So how are you dressing up?
Are you fashionable?
Yourself, yeah. Are you a fashionista? Can you dress up? Can you put up the pieces and let them make sense? Can they make a statement, right?
You can't preach what you're not.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, it's always the first thing. If I tell you that every time before an event, I try to prepare about my outfit, let's say 24 hours before. If it's a serious event that I'm going to host. If I'm attending an event, man, I get my outfit prepared. Even I'm just thinking, I think about them even when I'm still in bed for maybe a few minutes. when I get up, I just go direct into my closet because I've already visualized how I'm gonna look and how I should look. Yeah, but when it comes to like I'm going to work, it's always 24 hours. Like I have to make sure the pieces are ready, right? Wow. So it all starts with yourself, and also you need to make the people that you're interviewing, the people that you're interacting with, feel comfortable. You know, they need to feel appreciated as they talk about themselves. You know, and you need to help them be comfortable. You need to help them also learn more about themselves and what they're wearing. You know, and just really show up very confidently and ask the right questions. That for me, that's my secret.
Wow. I think in everything you said, what really caught my eye is you being able to be on the same standards. You cannot tell us about fashion when you yourself, come on, man. First be the example.
Yeah, like the pieces you're putting on, they're not organized.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about actually how expensive the clothes you're wearing are. It's about how good you can put them together. Yeah, how like exactly, you know, contrast, you know,
colors,
details. That's really about dressing up, you know, and being fashionable. So I've seen now a lot of people, and maybe we can talk about this later on, of how much influence have caused in terms of now. You see a lot of people trying to do.
Don't disturb yourself. It was my following question. I wanted to know what your work and social media has improved or changed how people experience fashion. Because of course, like you're saying, people now have to be like,
oh man, 100%. Yeah. So I'm glad you asked that, right? So man, at first I never really understood the amount of influence what I was creating was going to have, especially in the entertainment industry or events industry in Rwanda. But believe me, man, I'm proud a little bit, you know. I'm proud a little bit, but like a lot of people now are very conscious about how they're dressing up, how they're showing up to events, because somehow in their minds they're like, oh, I might run into that cowboy. Exactly. I might run into David and he's gonna ask about what I'm wearing. So. And I love this, you know, I love the change. I love the mindset that people now have when it comes to dressing up well, you know, and in Rwanda, if we are going to say that Rwanda is becoming, or Kigali is becoming the heart, the hub of creativity, of entertainment, we have to live up to it, you know, meaning fashion is a very big thing. It's a very big part of it, you know, so it's about how we show up to clubs, you know, it's about how we show up to events, you know, it's about how we show up in public spaces, because Rwanda as a country itself, it has done so much, it has done tremendously well in terms of, you know, branding itself as this beautiful image, of course, you know, of the country, which it is. That's the reality. Rwanda is beautiful in and out, you know. And how about we, the people that live into it?
When people come to visit us,
exactly,
how are we actually? Because are we really presentable?
Yeah, because the country is made of people. People are not traveling in Rwanda to interact with trees or with land. They're traveling in Rwanda
human
to interact
connection.
With people. So how we dress, that's the first impression also they have, right? When we have, for example, we have these events, you know, there have been hundreds of events that are being hosted in Rwanda.
And they bring in a lot of people from
a
different
lot of
countries.
International people that come to attend these events. And if you look at how they dress, it's really amazing, right? So why can't we draw inspiration and also set the standards to like, hey, it's non-negotiable. For me, that's my motto. Like actually, like dress codes for me when I'm attending an event, it's non-negotiable. Like I have to dress well. Like it's a must. You have to dress well, ladies.
Oh, don't go
gents.
there. If you're going to
exactly. Go there, yeah. Like you have to take it that serious. Like you have to dress up well, you know, because we're living in Kigali. Kigali is amazing. This is becoming a global hub, right? So we have to really dress comfortably and dress really well. So I'm glad that a lot of people out there now, they're
Let me tell you the truth. I want to give you your flowers because you might think you're doing something for yourself, but honestly speaking, you've changed a lot. Like you said, now people are like, there's this guy who interviewed people at events. I have to be on my best. Some people go all the way to use custom-made outfits to make sure they're in the right box. And that means, you know, you're reshaping the industry. If we can get more guys like you, the industry will change.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, I've noticed actually, I have people sending me like reels, content of seeing other, let's say, journalists trying to create like the same kind of content, like street interviews, fashion interviews at events. And people send them to me to say, oh, see, someone is doing what you're doing. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, interesting, man. Should I look at them as competition? Or should I look at them as something like, you know what? I am proud that I'm actually setting this trend, and I'm inspiring other people to really be, creators that can amplify the fashion scene in Kigali.
And the world needs more of you guys.
Yeah.
Same as photographers. You cannot be a photographer just alone in the old city.
Yeah.
More than like 1,000, 10,000 of us, and everyone has their different craft.
Yeah.
We all have to be there to improve the craft. You can't be alone in the industry.
Absolutely, man. So man, shout out to everybody out there who's being inspired by my work and who believes or who still wants to venture into being a fashion host, being a street interviewer, a street content creator, because we need more of you guys. Let's all work together. Let's create. Let's create, and it's a way to inspire each other. Yeah. And competition is good too. I can also look at that as competition, which is going to help me to be inspired and also to do better. Yeah. So, and to up my game, to continue like just going hard. So,
because comfort is also a problem.
Yeah, man. And in Rwanda, especially in the creative space, I feel like comfort here is one of the biggest challenges most creative space, because people say, which is true, there's really not much competition here.
Yeah,
if you look at it,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah. So we find that when you start something and no one is doing it, you become too comfortable, maybe one or two people start also doing what you're doing. You still say, you know what? It's not too much competition.
Yeah.
But if you compare to other countries like Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, oh my God.
I know.
There,
you have to get better. You have to do better than
do better, actually.
You were yesterday.
100%.
Yeah. Now, talk about fashion and events. Well, this is what I think. I don't know if I'm right. I think to be a fashion host, you have to keep up that image.
Yeah.
But then I wonder, how do you manage to be authentic, to balance being authentic and also keep the public image?
Yeah. So, man, personality is a very big thing now. That's where your personality comes into play. If you look at me personally, I'll use myself as an example, right? My personality for me is unique, and I believe that it's my biggest blessing that I have, and that will never be taken away from me, because we're living in a world where, of course, attention is currency now. A lot of people want to do things that's not part of who they are to just, get attention, right?
Get likes.
So likes. We're chasing this narrative of being famous, being, liked by the world, right? So in that process, a lot of people end up losing who they are. Yeah. So to answer your question, I believe that when you have a good personality, that can never be taken away from you. Yeah. And it's hard to change your personality because of the outside world, right? So it's really about always checking on myself. I take my creative breaks, by the way, very seriously every time after I've had like a very busy season, to just like reflect, to, have some introspection, to check in with myself, like how
am I real?
Exactly.
Myself?
How am I? Am I still the David that came from Zambia?
Yeah.
Am I still authentic to myself? Is my personality changing, or am I still true to myself?
Yeah.
So personality is like the biggest capital that you would have as a creative, and to still stay on your ground and be like authentic. So always just, maintain your personality.
Yeah. Personality. Now, we go beyond the personality and then talk about the fashion industry in Rwanda.
Yeah.
How would you describe the growth of the industry? You found before leaving, ALU, then you joined the industry, and then you've seen it grow. How would you describe the growth right now? Yeah,
man. I always like to say and to recognize that, of course, Rwanda is a very small market, and this is the reality. We all know Rwanda is still a developing country, and Kigali being the city center, the hub of all where this creativity is at, it's also a very, small city, and it's still growing, right? So if you compare the fashion industry from, let's say, 4 years ago, right, or 3 years ago, obviously, there was this notion about, I think, the made in Rwanda, culture, right?
Yeah.
That was man. When I moved to Rwanda, it was booming.
Yeah.
Right after
Everyone
COVID,
had
man.
some brand.
Yeah. The made in Rwanda brand was big. I don't know exactly who owned it, or it was like just a national public name of like promoting locally made in Rwanda products. I believe that was a big thing. It was a big thing because it inspired a lot of fashion designers to actually maximize on the local resources and create something that is rooted into the culture, right?
Yeah.
So I would say the industry it's still small, yet it's still growing, so it's not stagnant. It's actually in motion.
Growing, yeah.
Shout out to every fashion designer out there, any fashion house out there that are, really putting so much effort in.
Feel free to mention if you want to.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, man. Shout out to fashion houses out there. I would like to give a very big shout out to my guy, Mattel designer. He's doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, I've seen his outfit.
I love his pieces. They're always very strong, heavy, and when it comes to streetwear, man, shout out to this lady. What's her name? Elodie. Yeah, the lady who's trying
behind Dabaga.
Yeah, the lady behind Dabaga, man. Shout out to Elodie with her brand Izuwa. I just love the way she, has invested so much into her creative pieces and also marketing. So this is maybe we'll talk about the challenges later on, right? But yeah, she's done so much in terms of like promoting her brands out there. And Fragile, they're good also when it comes to creative streetwear pieces. So yeah, I would say like creatives out there, they're embracing fashion and also they're learning from, I think, what the other designers out there in the world are doing. And I believe that once we keep this momentum going, we can achieve more. And before you know it, we're gonna have a lot of fashion brands here, and people buy more into made in Rwanda products, and also start exporting out there. But yeah, I believe that there's room for also improvement, and yeah, it's a growing industry.
I think, thank you for mentioning a few of them. I also like the fact that the industry is growing. I've been here a little bit longer than you, and I can say that, 7, 8 years ago, the industry was really, really boring.
Yeah.
But today, like you say, now, for example, in Dabaga, I used to see her t-shirts 5 years ago, 6, but now she's done better. She's even having now denim, freedom, some top quality.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
This is made in Rwanda.
Yeah.
And I can say that we love the growth. We love the growth. And that's all because of the impact of you guys showcasing this, this fashion on big events. Because when you showcase such on a big stage, it goes beyond East Africa. It goes beyond Africa.
Yeah.
Now people are watching NBA Africa from everywhere, like America, everywhere, Europe. And they're like, oh, this is from Rwanda.
I know. Yeah.
This is amazing. Yeah. And now, for example, we have these guys, Kigali Kaftan.
Oh, shout out to
Kaftan. They, right now, they even have pop-up shows in the USA, in Detroit, and people are buying all the outfits. I'm like,
that's dope.
Okay.
And speaking of that, like international, organizing events or participating in international events. Also, this guy, House of Tayo.
Oh yeah,
Tayo is amazing. I think he's one of the fashion designers or brands in Rwanda that has pushed the whole fashion industry to another level, and he's inspired so many other people. And also the fact that I've been seeing a lot of fashion events in Rwanda, that is also something great.
David, as a host, you're always the person helping others tell their stories.
Yeah.
What have you learned from the people you've interviewed with so far?
Yeah. So, man, one thing I've learned is really that everybody has a story. Yeah. And that people really love and they appreciate the concept of talking about themselves. All they need is a platform, right? That's one thing that I've learned, and that people are really we're social animals, and people are social, we're naturally social, and if you approach people in the right way, trust me, you can get almost anything from anybody. You just have to have the right communication skills and be recipient of or accommodative of everybody.
Yeah.
you know. I feel like we live in a world where there's now this whole antisocial thing that is being pushed, especially among us Gen Zs, you know. But that's not the right thing to do, you know. Like, we're like just naturally social animals, and we sometimes just need someone to compliment us or someone to give us a platform to talk about ourselves, you know. And that lights up our day, you know. So yeah, I've learned that as humans, man, we've got unique stories, and everybody loves to talk about themselves.
Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah. Now, going beyond the fashion talk, I want us to talk about now the career you've built. What has been the most memorable event you've ever worked on?
Yeah. Man, I know it sounds recently, but I feel like this year's BAL was unique.
Wow.
This year's BAL was unique, and I think it will go in the long run as part of my unique memories, because it was special in a way that I feel like I was ready, you know, for the moment. You know, I made some really good money out of this. Shout out to partners that came on board to, you know, support me. And I feel like I really maximized the platform, you know, and shout out to the BAL itself. It's such a very unique platform. It's empowering talents beyond just the basketball court. You know, they have us creators now, you know, being part of it, you know, creating and telling stories in the most unique way, right? So I feel like the BAL this year was unique, man. And also shout out the fact that the local team won it, right? So that's really, it's like adding the cherry on top. So yeah.
The RSSB Tigers.
Exactly. Shout out to them. So I feel like the BAL was unique. It was unique. So far in my career, you know, it's been unique. And I can't wait, like we were saying before the cameras started running, to maybe one day be on that big platform, you know.
Yeah.
Paris Fashion Week, we coming. New York Fashion Week, we coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
We should be targeting for the big ones.
Exactly.
Now, on the way to success, of course, we meet obstacles, we meet challenges. What has been the biggest challenge, you know, in your career so far?
Yeah, for me, man, as an international, like, I feel it's just really been, I think having access to the right people, you know, this is going to be a challenge even for almost every creative out there as you are starting, you know. A lot of people are not going to believe in your brand. A lot of people are not going to understand what you're trying to build, right? So, like, just not having the right access at the right time, you know, we take you behind the scene of how many emails we send, how much time we put into like just pitching your brand, pitching yourself as a creator to be a part of something. It's a lot of time, man. It's a lot of time and it's a lot of effort. So that's been the challenge. You know, I wish it was that easy to just say, you know what? Oh, today I'll just walk into this company, I'll walk into this brand to say, hey, I am David and I create content. Give me accreditation or give me access, give me this platform, let me create. If it was that simple, man, everybody today maybe will be creating content and every creator will be empowered. So I feel like access has been, you know, one of the biggest challenges, but I'm grateful to still have been able to access some of the biggest people, some of the, you know, right decision makers in this country. You know, Rwanda is one of the countries that I always say that it's easy to get things done here because it's like, systematic. And I know, no one the system works like, exactly. You know, I can easily, you know, send an email to RDB, to someone in RDB, to the end they'll respond. Someone to RCB, they'll respond. You know, someone to BK Arena, like they'll respond to me. Someone at Zeracot, they'll like respond to me.
No middleman.
Yeah, exactly. Like just directly. Or if I want to meet a minister in Rwanda, I'm 100% sure I can walk to their ministry house and maybe just inquire for an appointment. When they're available, they can meet me.
I think that's a blessing we all don't see. And we should thank the leadership for that, the leadership of the nation. Because we're all from Africa. Now, me, I'm from East Africa, but on the other end, Uganda, where I know everything is like this. You need someone to get somewhere. Here, everything is in the right direction. And I need to talk to Claire Kamanzi. Oh, here she is. I need to talk to this one. Oh, please, here. I need to talk to a minister. A minister is a public servant. You can access them. You can chat with them about your idea. They actually help you push their idea. it's really a blessing. But yeah, but now talk about like access to, getting people doing things. Have you ever faced rejection or failure that later turned into an important lesson?
Absolutely, man. Rejection is part of the process, as a creative and in any business, environment. Rejection is part of, the process. And I get that, I think, more often than I think, whether directly or indirectly,
I understand,
some people have the courage to reject you directly, Others, they'll be political about how they reject you, right? They'll make you feel we're not rejecting you, but we're rejecting you. So I feel like, for me, I've felt that a couple of times, but I don't, tolerate it so much. I embrace it so that I can move on. But I don't let it be a barrier for me to prevent me from like achieving my goals. If you reject me today, I'll really feel it in the moment and I'll embrace it. A lot of people that are bitter out there or creative that don't make progress when it comes to being in the right mental state, it's because they take rejection as a barrier, right? Which it can be a barrier. But I think what's also the big thing is that they take rejection as, they don't embrace rejection. They ignore it. If they're being rejected, they ignore it. Like, no, if you're being rejected, have the courage or have the humility, be vulnerable to say, oh shit, no, this time around. Damn, I'm not always gonna get what I want, right? Or really they're rejecting me. Embrace it. Be vulnerable
and
enough.
Stay positive.
Exactly. Be vulnerable enough to embrace that rejection and stay positive, and then accept it and then move on. But once you ignore it, trust me, it's going to haunt you in the future.
I know.
Yeah. So for me, it's part of the process. And I don't mind getting, rejected because maybe sometimes, also it was not meant for me. So I try to see how I can navigate to find or to be accepted in the right places at the right time.
Talk about navigating. How do you deal with criticism, especially when you're a public figure?
So yeah, man, that's a big thing, man. Shout out again to Rwanda. Man, I don't know. Rwanda is unique, trust me. Like, Rwanda is unique. I've been here for 5 years now, and I've seen public figures. I've seen some, headlines, some get, like, maybe criticized, right?
Yeah.
But from my own personal experience, believe me, man, I'm proud to say, like, I've never, like, been viciously criticized, like, oh no, don't speak well, or maybe you're dressing too much or something. Bro, no one has ever directly, criticized me. I've never seen any vlog about me in any way. And also, comes to say, like, this is maybe the pretty privileges we enjoy being, the peace that we enjoy being in Rwanda. Like, sometimes we might take for granted. Trust me, in South Africa or in Zambia or in Nigeria, you know how much, like, celebrities, influencers, public figures out there get criticized a lot, almost on a daily basis, right? But here, it's peaceful, man. So yeah, I don't want to take that for granted. But I feel like in a case where I've been criticized or I've come across something as criticism, again, I'm humble enough to say, okay, I'm happy to listen to you. Criticize me. Like, I want to learn. I want to see what you're seeing that I'm not saying, from your other perspective. So just the ability to, like, okay, listen. Oh, this is what you mean. Okay, maybe I'll improve. Yeah.
And not every criticism is bad. There is constructive criticism, and it's very good for all of us in our growth. 100%. Yeah. But now, leaving the critics alone, I want to know who has been your greatest supporter in your journey.
Yeah. That's a good one, man. So I would say my family, shout out to my family. I know we're in a distance relationship with my family because, I know they're in Zambia, I'm here. That's the reality, right? But I'm close to a point that almost every week we talk. We have WhatsApp videos now. But if I'm being, like, realistically on the ground right now, for the past 5 years I've been in Rwanda, my greatest supporter has really been Rwandans, man. Yeah, shout out to Rwandans. I've got good, amazing Rwandan friends out there. I think they've supported me. But when it comes also, like, to my creative journey, I want to give a very big shout out to this individual because he's always involved me.
Please mention.
And he's helped me grow my brand out there. Shout out to Gerard, Gerard Mahe from Rwanda Updates. That's my guy. He runs one of the biggest, I think digital media platform in Rwanda. I always tell him, man, this is big. And man, shout out to Gerard, because he's always, I even tell him, I usually call him my manager, although we have not formally signed anything. I usually tell him like, yo, man, you're my manager, because he always puts me on gigs, he puts me on opportunities, he supports me. So yeah, man, and yeah, wonderful. He's been like a very instrumental person to like grow in, even monetize my brand. I've made some good money from his opportunities that he's presented me. Yeah. So Gerard, if you see this, shout out to you, man.
He's gonna see
and
this.
Keep growing, my brother. I'm a fan of Rwanda Updates and what you're doing, and I pray that it continues to grow. So yeah, let's go, man.
Ooh. Wow. It's always good to have a supporter who pushes you, because sometimes you feel like you're done, you feel like you're not in the right place, and then someone's like, my boy, let's go, you can do this, you can do this.
Yeah, and especially in this small creative market like Kigali as well, so you need to build intentional, right relationships with people. Don't have too much, as Gen Zs, we say there's this term, nonchalant, right? Or the ego, like we don't care, like swallow your ego, swallow your ego and make sure that you relate to people naturally and connect, and they'll call you or they'll remember you when they come across opportunities. And also let your talent speak, do the work, deliver, execute.
Deliver. I want to know if there's what has been the funniest or any funniest moment you've ever experienced while hosting.
Yeah, damn, bro. One of the funniest moments is always being, of course, Broombas, right? Or for people who like just, photobomb you, or I think video bomb you, when you're like in the character, like you're on set, you're busy, you're like, okay, I'm serious. And then, especially when you're doing events hosting, you are in the public, so everybody can just run into you, right? For me, I find that hilarious, and it's always making my content more fun. But I feel the fun, but I think the bitter fun of it, usually it's always, bro, when you forget to switch on your mic.
It's a disaster.
Man, that's a bit of fun way, because it has happened to me several times, actually. Sometimes I'm like...
And you're busy talking.
Yeah, I know, I'm talking, I'm doing these crazy interviews. Bro,
I killed it.
I know, up to 2 maybe people that I've talked to, or 3 of them, and then just to check the video, no audio. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell, Silva? What the hell, David? What the hell? I mean, what just happened, man? Yeah, it happens. For me, like, that's funny, and also it's a bit, like, it hurts, you're like, shit, man. So yeah, a lot of fun things happen.
On the opposite.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced like a wardrobe malfunction on camera?
Oh yeah, it has happened. It happened actually. I remember, I think it was during Friends of Amstel, the last one, the other one is coming up.
Which had BN, right?
Zaria Code. So I had this white pants on, man. I was just all cool. And then my button, like the upper button there, just fell. I don't know even where it fell from. When I was on set, I could feel my pants like...
It was loose.
Losing. Yeah. I was like, okay. I just had to like put my left hand on it. My other mic was like... Actually, and also just had to put in the pocket. But I was like talking to people.
Improvise and keep it going.
Yeah, man. It has happened to me. And also, it has happened to even like the clients or the interviewee. I could tell like, in the middle of like, especially ladies, maybe the earrings falls down, These are things that, of course, out of respect.
Yeah.
And of respect and integrity of the things that I do, I can never show this.
Yeah.
Like, I respect people that show up on my interviews, So, yeah, we cut that out, but it happens a lot.
Now, almost getting to the end, but I need to know, where do you see David Mubita Evans in 5 years?
Right now, it's really to grow my Mubita brand. The Mubita brand, for me, that's the biggest. And also, like, I'm officially now into the monetization phase.
Monetization phase.
Yeah. As a creative, it's important that I monetize my products, my content, my stuff, my brand. So if I would like be specific, I'm really chasing, financial sustainability. for my brand. So that's the phase, and that's the biggest dream that I'm on. And I feel like many people shy away from, chasing money. They say, don't chase money. Like, that's the reality is that we're living in a very capitalist world. Almost everything that you invest in, you spend money on it, right? So, and money is everything in terms of like growing your business, growing your brand. Yeah. So I'm really chasing monetization, and also like just being in the right space when it comes to financial stability. So yeah, that's my biggest dream at the moment. And I know I have to recognize that and have to be intentional about it. I don't have to shy away from it, because when I shy away from it, I'm not going to make money. I have to be realistic to say, hey, I need money as a creative. So that's the biggest goal. We got to chase that money.
Talk about David.
Chasing moolah.
Chasing moolah. Okay. Talking about David and chasing the moolah. What legacy would you love to live in Rwanda's fashion and media industry?
Man, I really want the fashion industry here to grow to a point that people are naturally just fashionistas. Like they take dressing as a lifestyle, not an option. I want people to step out from their homes, like just be intentional about how they're looking. It shows you care about other people, you care about yourself, So and I want also like the media industry to have embraced fashion as part of their big content aspect. They need to see a lot of journalists, educating people about fashion and creating content about fashion that can help these designers to be promoted.
Wow, that's nice. Now, maybe my closing question is, what advice would you give to a young person who wants to become a fashion or a digital host?
First of all, you need to learn the basics. And by that, I mean, you have to, learn one or two things about fashion yourself. Watch TVs, watch YouTube, watch videos of other creators that are creating content on fashion, right? Fashion content. And then, start with yourself. Make sure you've got to represent the industry well. Don't interview people about fashion when you yourself is not fashionable. You're not fashionable, so just be responsible, and then you get used to be in front of the camera, right? So always make sure that you're creating content to impact, to create impact, to educate people, not to seduce people. So it all starts from there, and just really, go for it.
Wow, go for it.
Yeah, be consistent, go for it. And the big thing is you have to start now.
Just tell them right to the camera.
You have to start now. Start now, because when you start now, trust me, you do yourself so much, justice to yourself.
Now, David, enough with the serious questions. Now we have a few quick fires.
I feel like this is your favorite part.
Exactly. Favorite part? Okay, these are quick fires. Nothing serious, not too much thinking. Just give me simple answer. Very, very precise. Okay? Streetwear or high fashion?
High fashion.
High fashion. Sneakers or formal shoes?
Formal shoes.
Formal shoes. I can see my boy.
Let's go. Okay. I love formal shoes.
Tell us the story behind formal shoes. Why formal shoes?
Well, they just keep you grounded, You're not in a rush. Sneakers usually gives that vibe like, okay, you're active. It's an active wear, like you're in motion. But formal shoes, they're classy, and like just really, they've got that demeanor.
Local designer or international designer?
That's a good one, man.
Yes.
I'll go with local designers. Local designer clothes. And not just because I'm supporting local, but I'm someone who is rooted into African history. As an African, I would love to wear things that are made in African countries everywhere that I go. So
promote Africa.
For sure.
Made in Rwanda, made in Africa. That's really cool. What's that one fashion item you can't live without?
Oh man, of course, shades.
Who is your ultimate fashion icon?
It's funny actually. Don't have a specific fashion icon. Like I said, I draw inspiration from so many people. And so many good works out there. So I won't say one specific fashion icon, but I'm inspired by the art of fashion. Yeah.
Okay, now this one is a special one. One person you would love to interview.
Oh man, that's a good one. So actually, because I'm here in Rwanda, let me start with where I am right now. So I've always wanted to interview His Excellence, President Paul Kagame, one day. Man, shout out to him. Shout out to his designer. He's got a very rich, good sense of fashion. You know, he's a very classy man. You know, yeah. So one day, I know I've run into him a couple of times, not interacted yet, but like being in the same room with him, like in some events, you know. One day, Your Excellence, if you see this, and if your team sees this, please, one day we're gonna do the fashion interview
because of fashion.
Yeah,
are you like, Mr. President, who are you wearing?
Yeah, and I know he wears a lot of local brands. So
that would be so amazing.
Shout out to him.
Now, this one is, I think, we all have this one thing we don't want to say anymore.
Yeah.
That one fashion trend you wish it would disappear, or you wish it can disappear.
Oh, that's a good one. Hey, I think Crocs. Crocs. Yeah, man. Bro, I hate those things, brother, man. Like, I know people love Crocs, but I don't, you know, the people started memorizing them, like they wear them anywhere, bro. Even at formal works, airports. Like, told you guys to wear pajamas at airports or to wear Crocs at airports. Come on, man. No, the Croc things, no, man. I wish it can disappear, bro.
You want to kill it?
And be replaced by other cool slippers or cool, easy things, yeah.
Okay, now describe your personal style in 3 words.
Okay. In 3 words? I would say, first word is classy.
Classy.
Timeless.
Timeless.
Yeah. And detailed.
Detailed. I think detail is even important.
Yeah.
Because I've seen...
Yeah. I'm heavy on details, so yeah. I love details. For me, details are important.
Now, finally, if you were to attend, or if you could attend one fashion show in the world, which one would it be?
Oh man, I would go for like Paris Fashion Week.
Paris Fashion Week. You want to speak some French? Bonjour, bonjour.
I want to say some ça va, merci,
merci beaucoup,
bonsoir.
My guy, thank you so much on the show. But now maybe our parting question. This is like an faces and stories signature question.
Okay.
This we have to ask this every guest, and it's the last question. When people remember your face years from now, what story do you hope they remember with it?
I want them to remember the story of fashion. You know, as an African creator that revolutionized how fashion stories are being told to the media, you know, and how fashion maybe it's also taught in schools, you know, like people need to embrace fashion because it's our language, it's our identity. That was my boy David Mubita Evans, you know, fashion digital host. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, I told you every face has a story worth telling. Last time we had a DJ, and this time around it's a digital host in the fashion industry. So, and then shout out to all the fashion designers in the country of Rwanda, the Thousand Hills, starting from LD, who is behind Ndabaga, there is House of Tayo, there is Kigali Kaftan, there is Mateo Studio, and there is more of them who are actually changing the industry. Thank you so much for giving us the best outfits, and please keep it up because we need more outfits coming up. And also, before we leave, you can catch David on the Friends of Amstel concert that's coming up on the 29th of August at the BK Arena. He'll be there, you know, showing the drifts, the best outfits. Just know when the day comes, come with the best outfit because David will be having his cameras pointing at you. He will be hunting you everywhere. So just know it will be a field day for him to look for you. So thank you so much. Until next time.